Hello, if you can see me and hear me, let me know, because I just got an error message. So let me know if you are hearing me all right. I'm sorry, I've got my dishwasher on, so you might hear that in the background. So there's no door between here and the kitchen. So please, yeah, let me know if you are hearing me okay. And I will quickly say hello to everyone. So I've got Mitch, who wanted me to delay it so he can carry on watching the football. Sorry, Rich, I need to do this because I've got plans later, so can't delay it, but enjoy the football. Holly is here, says hi to everyone. Em is here. Hi there, Em. I will reply to your message a little bit later. And Alicia as well. And you can hear me. Brilliant. Thank you, Alicia. And hi, welcome to this little Sunday afternoon stream. I've got a few new perfumes to talk about, so I thought I'd just do it in a little live stream form. And yeah, we've got Pink Me Up, which is the new one from Atelier Des Ors, and they released two just now, Pink Me Up, and then there's a darker one that I've forgotten the name of. If anyone knows, do feel free to share it. And Alicia's just let me know that it's going to be in the Perfume Playground, which is a really nice boutique here in the UK, and they're an online boutique and they're really lovely. I worked with them quite a while ago on my Mask Milano sniff along thing, and yeah, so they're going to have it, as well as Harvey Nichols as well, going to have the two new ones from Atelier Des Ors. Hi Joanna, and hi to Karine. Nice to see you. So I think we'll start then with Pink Me Up. So I bought a decant from someone on a Facebook group, and they sort of ordered the bottle and split it. So I got this little 5ml. It's unlabeled. You can see a few flecks of gold in there. They're kind of sitting at the bottom. So you probably can't see it on camera, but there's some tiny little flecks of gold in the decant. Em says that Perfume Playgrounds are fabulous. They are, they certainly are. And so what I'm going to do is spray it on a bit of paper. I do have it on my skin. I'm actually wearing it as well. So I'm going to spray it on the paper and sort of talk about it from the beginning and then into what I've discovered further into the dry down. Has anyone tried Pink Me Up from Atelier Des Ors yet? Let me know in the comments. And we have Phil here. Hi Phil, good to see you. I've decided to do this stream on StreamYard, so that's why I can put your comments up, because I think that's really nice. And it means I'm able to add someone to the stream if they wanted to join me, but no pressure. And also I'm kind of nervous about that as well, because I don't want I don't know, some sort of random person who I don't really know, who I have trouble having a conversation with. I'm kind of scared of that sort of stuff. I know some people are brilliant and they just let anyone come on their streams. So it isn't, I've copied it, so I can just have to paste it, the link to join. If anyone does want to join, just let me know in the comments, and I can paste you the link. Right, so yeah, anyone tried Pink Me Up? Yes, I approve of the name as well. Karine tried the pink one in Paris this week. Okay, Karine, love to know what you think. So here's what I think. It's different on skin than on paper. Where did I put it on? Nope. I got it over here. When I I don't know, it's not quite. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. It's really musky on my skin now, which is lovely actually, but it's not what I remember. So it just goes to show that you really do have to get to know a perfume over time, because you notice different things. You can't evaluate and review a perfume from one wearing. You can give your opinion on that particular wearing, but sometimes you can wear something another day and find other things about it, which I find fascinating. And yeah, so Pink Me Up, when I first spray it, I am surprised by the intensity of the patchouli. That's the thing that I really noticed. And that's not to say that it's really heavy on patchouli, but there's more there than I would have thought, because obviously it's listed as a base note. I say obviously, but usually patchouli would be a base note because of its heaviness and the fact that you would smell it all the way through. And I do think you really do get quite a lot of the patchouli in the opening, and maybe more so than the dry down. Hey Lizzie, hopping in between work shifts. Ooh, pink me up, very curious. Yeah, so first of all, I think it's important to know that if you are someone who really doesn't enjoy patchouli, I don't think you're going to enjoy it. If, like me, you're okay with it in small doses, but you don't like it as the main focus, you might find you don't love the opening, but you'll like it once that kind of calms down a little bit. So to me, it's a patchouli, rose, musk. I'm not sure if there's iris in there, but it smells like there's iris in there. And it's very sharp and fizzy. So they've used this headspace technology to get the feeling of champagne. And I do think they have achieved that. So it's not like a Chanel No. 5 aldehyde type fizzy note, but it's in the same sort of ballpark, but it doesn't feel vintage at all. I don't know if they've used aldehydes to get that effect, but, and there's definitely a sharp pink fizzy fruity thing. So I can't remember the notes, but it's like a grapefruit to me. So it's like pink grapefruit, so pink grapefruit champagne, but definitely got a powdery undertone. So you've got the texture of the sharpness, sharp, bright, fizzy, zesty, and then you've got the smoothness of the patchouli, and it's a modern type of patchouli that you get from Sofia Vergara, the original Sofia Vergara. It's like the patchouli in that, which is not listed, by the way, but it's really heavy. And it's nowhere near as heavy as it is in that fragrance. And it's probably like the patchouli in Coco Mademoiselle. And there was one recently, about a year ago, that bubblegum one from Moschino, bubblegum something. That one was a fruituli to my nose. It had bubblegum smell at the beginning, but it fell off quickly to a fruituli. And it's that sort of patchouli. So it's a very common designer fragrance type patchouli. So a moist, not really, really earthy, not really, really dry. So it's not my favourite note, not my favourite way to smell patchouli. I do prefer the more old, sort of aged patchoulis that Teone uses in her formulas. She uses, but I suppose she uses, she's aged Sumatran patchouli. I doubt you're going to get that in a modern designer fragrance. And also what Sven used to use, the patchouli Sven used in his musk perfume was amazing. He used an aged patchouli. This is more of a moist, richer, modern patchouli. Corinne says, I only tried it on paper. I just thought it was okay, but was not impressed. Honestly, not really my style, I guess. I do think it's not doing too well on the paper. It's very sharp. The skin really brings out I think the patchouli, the musks. I like it on the skin a lot better. On the paper, is not doing much. I'm guessing that's going to dry down quite musky. The musks really come out on paper in a certain way, a little in a more of a sharp way than they do on skin. But yeah, I would say if you are interested in the fragrance, test it on your skin. Paper is not doing it justice at all. Alicia says, how funny I didn't get any patchouli. That was what differentiated it to Cherbourg Caprice de Marie the most. Mainly musky and berry on me. We should swap skin. I'll find out if there's a surgeon that will do that for us, Alicia. Yeah, that is funny. So bear that in mind then. There's another opinion. It's not that heavy on the patchouli for Alicia's nose or Alicia's skin. And yeah, definitely berry. It's pink berries. It's rose. It's fizzy. I find it sort of sharp and fresh. It's kind of like a girly, summer, spring summer type fragrance. Fun, not really young and not too silly and frivolous. It's not something that you would smell in a celebrity fragrance bottle. You know, it does have a sophistication, but for Atelier des Ors, if you think of their general the way that they look, the way that they market themselves, very classy, the way that all the lovely gold speckles and the bottles of everything is so classy and sophisticated. This is really one of their most frivolous fragrances. In actual fact, they've named the line, so they've got a new line. I think Les Frivolities. So it really does fit that frivolous. It fits that frivolous aesthetic. Let's say the word aesthetic seems to be trending at the moment, but it does fit that frivolous aesthetic. But it has this depth that I get from the patchouli and the musks, and it smells like a bit like there's iris. I'm not sure if there really is. If anyone knows any of the notes, do let me know. Peter says, I totally forgot to watch the Dusita launch last night. I realised about an hour after. Yeah, I actually forgot to check the dates. I didn't even realise it was yesterday. I was busy anyway, as it goes. But yeah, I missed the Dusita launch as well, Peter. But I have them here, and I'm smelling Rhapsodie Noire. I keep forgetting what it's called. And we've got John here as well. Hey, John, says good day, folks. Lots of lovely faces. It's so nice to see you all. And Barry. Barry, it's so good to see you. Lots of love to Barry. Phil says, I love the patchouli in Angel EDT and EDP. You might like this one then. Umida's here as well. Hi, Umida. Good evening, beautiful people, she says. How lovely. Kareem was at the event, the online launch for the new Dusita, which I will be talking about very shortly, I promise. And right. So, yeah, Atelier des Ors. Atelier des Ors. Pink Me Up. Does my hair look a bit weird today? It's like, I don't know. The lighting's no good either. Pink Me Up gets a thumbs up from me. Would I buy it at the price point? Probably not. I do like it. That patchouli that I get in the beginning, I don't love, but it doesn't last too long, and it sort of blends in with everything else, and then it all starts to come together. So I do really like it, but they are quite pricey. So my advice would be test it on skin first. It's a very expensive blind buy, unless you love that bottle that much, because that bottle is beautiful. So let's move on then to the new Dusita. So Dusita kindly sent me a travel size and invited me to the event that Peter just mentioned, which I forgot to go to. I didn't mark it in my calendar. So the new fragrance from Dusita is called La Rhapsodie Noire. The poem is, I am dancing to love in the subconscious of every human being. And this, of course, is from her father's, from Pissarro's father's poetry works. It's a gourmand fougere. Has anyone ever heard of a gourmand fougere before? Main notes, vanilla, tonka, French lavender, patchouli, and tobacco. I think there are more notes in the paperwork somewhere. If I find them, I'll let you know. So I've got it on skin here, and I will do a respray. I'll do it on one of the little cards that she sends over with the package. So I remember the first time I tried this, and that was when it arrived, and I remember comparing it or thinking of Dolce & Gabbana, no, D&G Pour Homme. You know, the original D&G Pour Homme. Beautiful. I find it very cumin heavy, so hay, sweet hay-like very, very classy. I really, really like D&G Pour Homme. I think it's one of the best designer fragrances out there. And this reminded me of that. And it is, I think they're both fougères, so that makes sense. Claire Smith says hello. Hi, Claire. Oh, Money Burner, that is very kind of you. Thank you so much for the super chat. And says, you're the best. Well, that is probably debatable, but I will take the compliment. Thank you. And yeah, see, when I smell it on the paper like that, it reminds me of D&G Pour Homme straight away. So I'm guessing that there's some notes or ingredients in common. But it's got a spicy, I think it's Immortelle. I don't know if it's listed. It wasn't listed on this bit here. But I think I smell Immortelle. That sweet and savoury, slightly spicy maple syrup-like note that Immortelle is. Yeah, I think I get Immortelle. Yes, you definitely get the lavender. Lavender's quite strong, but it is mixing in with that D&G Pour Homme type feel, and has this, as I say, sort of like a dry, sweet, herbally maple syrup-like note that I think is Immortelle. Umida says, indeed, she is the best and very feminine. Thank you very much, Umida. I love that. Yeah, this one really changes on the skin because I've also found it really quite smoky in places. Where did I put it? Yeah. Yeah, so on my wrist, it's now been on my wrist for an hour and a half. And I find a sweet smoky woods-like effect here. So you have this like wood and sugar mixed together, but only a little bit of sugar, not a lot. So it's not a really sweet fragrance at all, despite being called a gourmand. Yeah, it's not that smoky now, but there was a moment that it was really smoky on my skin, a really smoky wood, like a Gaiac wood type scent. Holly says, I love most Dusita. Bought husband Monterey for Father's Day this year. Very nice. Made me think of a much more complex version of Coffee Break by Maison Margiela, says Corinne. I can totally see that. Oftentimes, coffee and lavender seem to get mixed together in fragrances. So I can kind of see that. Especially in this dry down now, it's very dark. So like if it was a coffee, it would be a black coffee. There's definitely no added milk or cream. And quite smoky coffee, if it is a coffee, which it's not, is it? I don't think there's coffee note, but maybe there is. But we do have here the individual accords that make up the fragrance. So I think we should smell them, because I didn't get to do it with the group Zoom thing, which is a shame. And I am sorry that I missed it. But we're going to undo this, hopefully. And if I can undo it, we will smell the individual accords, because what Dusita does when she does a launch, or has done the last few launches now, she invites people to the Zoom, and she sends them not only the actual finished fragrance in that lovely travel spray, but she also has 3 accords in little sort of dabber bottles, so you can smell them individually, and she kind of like teaches you a little bit about what's in them, and it's a really fun thing to do, as I'm sure most of you can imagine. So we've got a gourmand accord, a fougère accord, and a woody accord. So let's start with the woody one. And I saw the Plum Girl did a little post, and she said all of these accords could easily be perfumes in their own right. And I know that I found that before with the previous ones. So I'm just going to get some on here and see what I make of the woody accord. So it's quite nice to have it broken down like that, so you can get that deeper understanding. Corinne says it has a tobacco/coffee vibe on my skin in the dry down. Yeah, I do. I honestly totally get that on my skin too. Oh, this is really nice. This woody accord, which, I mean, when you just say woody, it sounds boring. It sounds dull. I mean, I was expecting cedar, maybe gaiac wood, just a slightly woody thing. No, there's almost cognac or something. It's really interesting. Yeah, I would say this smells boozy to me. A whiskey or a cognac, probably a cognac, but aged in a barrel. So you do have a woodiness, but it's like wood soaked in cognac. This is beautiful, and honestly, if she released this, I mean, I don't know what the performance would be like, but if she released this, people would go wild for it. This is what you might imagine, and if you never smell angel share and you start to try and imagine what it might smell like, this is it. But this is more niche. This is not as crowd pleasing as sweet. It's, but it does. It smells like tobacco and cognac, and yeah, as I say, the cognac's aged in wood, aged in a barrel, and it's really soaked into the barrel, like it's been in there years and years and years. Definitely has a richness to it, a rich sweetness, which is a bit like a rich sweet tobacco type feel. Really nice. The woody accord, honestly, is sexy. It's really sexy. Like, I'm thinking I quite like to smell this on a man, you know. Yeah, I like that a lot. Right, let's move on then, shall we? We'll do the Fougere accord. John says it does sound actually really nice. I think it's a gourmand for a non-gourmand lover, or a Fougere for gourmand lovers. Yeah, Corinne, yeah, I see that, definitely. And Maddie is here. Hello all, just noticed this was on. Hi Maddie, lovely to see you. So we're going to smell the Fougere accord that makes up Rhapsodie. What's it called? La Rhapsodie Noire. It's hard for me to remember to say la. I don't know why. I kind of just want to call it Rhapsodie. La Rhapsodie Noire. So this is the Fougere accord. And let's see. So I'm guessing this has got the lavender in it. Oh yes. So when you smell this, just as a Fougere accord, really lavendery. Is that a word? We can say E at the end of anything, can't we? And it becomes a word. Lavendery, but there's this gorgeous, what is that? Like, is it, I think it might be a coumarin, some sort of tonka, but not a really rich tonka. They're more of a derivative of tonka. So the coumarin smells like sweet hay, almost grass like wet, dewy grass, but virgin on sweet hay. Yeah, it's light and airy. It's beautiful, actually. And I'm not a big fan of lavender. I don't dislike lavender, but I don't seek it out in fragrances, and I don't want it to be the main noticeable thing in a fragrance. I find it a little herbal, a little dry sometimes. This is gorgeous. I don't know what am I getting here, but it smells, it's kind of a mainstream smell, so it's not a really weird niche smell. So the woody accord definitely smell quite niche, quite rich, unusual. This smells more like what could easily be in a designer fragrance. I tell you what I get in here though, and it's only faintly. You know when you don't wash your clothes? No. You know when you don't dry your clothes properly, and or you don't dry them quick enough, and they've been sat in a pile wet, or they've been sat in the washing machine wet a little bit too long, and then as you get them out and you dry them, you get that smell, that sort of like mouldy smell that comes only from clothes or textiles. Sometimes you can pass someone in the street, or you might know someone at work who doesn't dry their clothes properly, and they give off this dank, mouldy like smell. I smell a little tiny bit of that in here, and I'm not sure where that's coming from. I don't know what's in here. I don't know what makes this accord up, but I get a little bit of that. But it might actually just be the lavender. But I really do get that like clothes that haven't been dried properly scent from this, as well as really pretty lavender and sort of hay, sweet hay. Yeah, that's nice, but I think the other one's much more interesting. So the woody accord's much more interesting. Now, of course, they all go together in different amounts to make up the main perfume. So we will now smell the gourmand one and see. I wonder if that will dip in. I might be able to twist it in, dip it in a little bit. Yeah, okay. Right, I've got that on the end now. I've got something on the end of it. Hams, hi, lovely to see you. Everyone saying hi to Maddie. Karine says, I love lavender, so you can imagine how I was pleased by this one. Lavender tonka being one of my favourite combos. Lavender and tonka do go very well together. I guess that's why fougere was created, or part of the reason. Musty and foisty, yes. Yeah, those are good words. Right, so let's smell this gourmand. Oh, okay. Well, that's got a lot of the hay. That's got a richer hay-like feel. So maybe, oh, it's sweet. It's like a sweet tobacco. Yeah, it's like a sweet tobacco, tonka, immortelle again. I feel like I'm getting some of that immortelle. That honeyed, dry maple syrup. It's like to me, immortelle is like if you took some dried herbs, like crispy dried herbs, and then you squeezed on top some maple syrup and you crunch it all together, your fingers will get all like sticky and bits of green dried herbs would be on them. But that, so you're getting all the herbal smell out and mixing in with the maple syrup. I'm getting that here. Karine, do you know if there's immortelle in here? I'd bet my bottom dollar. Really, really nice. I think people that love that Bond number 9 one, the one that's supposed to smell like breakfast, pancakes and syrup, this is like a better version of that. I didn't really enjoy that one. I tried it years ago. Yeah, I'd say this is immortelle. So gourmand is like pancakes covered in syrup. Really nice. Definitely gourmand. Karine says immortelle is often used for giving tobacco vibes, so it's possible she used it. Yeah, it does. It smells like a sweet tobacco, maple syrup, maybe some tonka or something like that, cumin. Yeah, it's really nice. So that's all the accords. And then where did I put the actual thing? So the dry down is less sweet than the separate accords that I smell. Kind of dry, woody, slightly sweetened tobacco. I don't get much lavender anymore, so I don't think the lavender hangs around too long. Musky and a clean undertone. It's really nice. It's it's very unusual. It's not exactly my thing, so it's not one that I feel like I'd need to go out and buy, but I do really appreciate it for how individual it is, how nicely balanced it is, how interesting it is. I think there'll be a lot of people that really love this one. So that was La Rhapsodie Noire. And then I'm going to talk to you now about so basically I decided that I was going to go on a no buy for a couple of months, and then within a week I bought something. When I went to visit Sarah McCartney in her studio a couple of weeks ago, she's got about 1 million bottles of vintage perfumes. She has the most amazing collection of fragrances, not to mention, of course, all the 4160 stuff everywhere as well, but the vintage perfumes. And one that stood out to me, that I saw the bottle and I wanted to try it, is Byzance, Byzance, and it's from Rochas. And so she's got this vintage bottle because it got re-released in 2019, but apparently it's quite a different formula. And so we tried the Byzance, just sprayed it on paper, and I loved it from the start. I really loved it. It's I don't know if the Parfum has any different notes than the Eau de Parfum, and I think I actually preferred, or it might be an Eau de Toilette, whatever one it was, I preferred the one that Sarah had in the big bottle than the Parfum, although the Parfum is nice. Actually, it is really nice. So I put it on my hand a little while ago. Let me show you what it looks like. Right, so I found this on eBay. I paid £45 for it plus shipping. It's a pure parfum 7.5 ml, so a small one. So we've got one box within a box, but it's very cute. And I have seen people trying to sell these for over £200, so I don't think I did bad. They advertise it as an eau de parfum, but in actual fact it's a parfum, so that might be why they might not have realised what they actually had. So this is a pure parfum, beautiful, unused bottle here, and so I put some on here about an hour ago. Now the note listing for Byzance is extensive. It's about all the flowers that you could imagine, and all the spices, and musk, and iris, and vanilla. Forgotten. It's a lot. There's a lot of notes. There's tuberose. I think there's jasmine. There's lily, rose, loads of spices. And when I first put it on, I found it a little animalic, and there's no animalic notes listed, but I just got like something a little dirty. Let's see. Do it over here now. So we're going to put something fresh on just here. So it might be that some of the florals have indoles, and that's probably why it smells a little animalic. But it's not animalic now in the dry down there. That's beautiful, Claire. Love a good bargain, says Lizzie. Yeah, what a pretty bottle. I know, it's gorgeous, isn't it? I think I might just have it on display. Keep it on, just have it on display. But I am going to track down. At some point, I'm going to be patient, because I'm definitely now going to try and do more of a slow buy. So I will look for a vintage Eau de Parfum or Eau de Toilette. I think it might only be an Eau de Toilette, and yeah, because I saw like a partial that was really reasonable on eBay. So I think there's plenty about. So I'm not in any hurry. But yeah, so it has aldehydes in it. I think I didn't mention that. And you can't smell them now in there, or not really, but in here where I've just applied it, it has that old-fashioned aldehydic opening, a little bit like Chanel No. 5, but maybe not quite as fizzy, more like not as fizzy, just kind of more blended, almost like a hairspray type note, which doesn't sound too pleasant, but I do find aldehydes can go a little hairspray like. I'm sorry, I'm just reading your comments. John says it sounds like another lovely one. Yeah, the bottle is very lovely. Yeah. Yeah, it is really nice. It definitely has just this touch of animalicness. It's kind of sharp. It's not that dirty. It just smells very vintage. It does really smell quite vintage. That, especially that opening. The dry down, not quite as vintage, because I think those aldehydes calm right down. They calm the fuck down. I don't know why I needed to say that. I remember, oh, I can smell the clove. There's clove in here, and I can smell that now. It's either clove or carnation. It's carnation, maybe both. Some people compare it to poison, but I wouldn't say that. But that carnation / clove note reminds me a little bit of poison, I think. Quite a strong carnation note that's coming through. So Shaverfon, it's been a while since I've seen you, Shaverfon. Always likes to mention Sebastian. So let's say, important new discussion on Sebastian's channel with runaway inflation. Shouldn't our government subsidise fragrance purchasing similar to forms of socialised medicine? Brilliant. I will look out for that video, Shaverfon. Yeah, so there's this like sweet, musky, clean, a floral bouquet. There's ylang ylang as well, actually. So there's ylang, lily of the valley, I think it is, and there's rose, and then there's jasmine and tuberose. So you can imagine all those florals in one place. It's like, but I'd say that actually right now it's the carnation that's the biggest note here. If you know what that carnation smells like, but carnation is very similar to clove, so I can often mix them up and not know one from the other. So yeah, it's a spicy, floral, musky. It's not particularly sweet, so I think it does have vanilla, but it's not like it's not a vanillic fragrance at this point, or the parfum isn't. I think the spray that I tried at Sarah's was more vanillic, was more musky, was cleaner, was easier. It wasn't so vintage smelling. In actual fact, it didn't really smell that vintage. It's lovely. It's really lovely. So I don't recommend that you go out seeking the parfum, because probably if you're looking for it, you might not even find it. I wasn't really looking for it. I was looking for the eau de parfum or the eau de toilette. I don't know if, as I say, I don't know if it comes in both options, but whatever spray one, that's the one I was looking for. And I've ended up getting the parfum. It's a bit spicy. It's a little bit spicy there. It's not the sort of fragrance I would wear out, really. I'd probably just wear it to bed, and then as I'm sleeping, it'd be nice to just catch a little whiff of it, that sort of thing. But the spray version smelled so nice. I'm pretty sure I'd wear that. But I only had it on paper, so who knows? Who knows? Alicia says Moon Carnival smells like poison to me. Is that the Wilhelm one? I think I smelt it. That's a big bold tuberose. And right, I think I'm caught up on comments. So yeah, that was Byzance. I'll show you one more time. Beautiful presentation. Byzance. Gorgeous. Yeah, so happy to have it, but I think I would have preferred the spray. But I can't resist some, it's a special thing, isn't it, a parfum, and especially in that lovely packaging. So I'm happy to have it, and I can always resell it if I want to. I probably won't lose too much there. So Have I spoken about everything I wanted to speak about? I think I have. So now it's your turn to tell me, what are you wearing today? So I am wearing Pink Me Up. I don't think it's that strong actually, although I've been spraying and smelling different things. I can get faint whiffs of it. So I'm not sure what the performance is like on Pink Me Up. I will probably put something else on to go out because I'm going out in a little while. Holly says Rochas best in my opinion is Mystere. It's gorgeous. I haven't tried that. I haven't even heard of that, so I will now have to seek it out, or at least look it up. I will look it up because that sounds good. It is exciting looking up vintage perfumes and learning about vintage fragrances, because I think we can get a little bit bored of everything that's coming out. It's when you go back in time, it's like a whole nother rabbit hole, isn't it? Who's into vintages? Let me know. Alicia says the new formulation poison just smells of aldehydes to me. I did try it. I think I've done a comparison video with the new formula versus the old formula versus the there was an intense version. I've forgotten what it's called. Esprit de Parfum. And I found when I really examined them, the new formula was a little easier to get along with and had a lot more vanilla in the dry down, whereas the old formula was very not so sweet, very kind of harsh, very rich, very spicy, incensey, plum. Yeah, it's a crazy fragrance. It's a remarkable perfume and part of perfume history. It's a classic. It belongs in the halls of fame, doesn't it, for how bloody crazy it was. But yeah, this Byzance is not so wild and crazy. It's a lot more palatable, I think. So yeah, do tell me what you're wearing. Yeah, as I say, I'm wearing Pink Me Up now, but I'm going to spray something else on. Not sure what yet. I will think about that in a minute. And yeah, my hands are covered in everything we've been talking about. So we've got the Rhapsodie Noire, very it's gone quite dry but very dark. It's called Rhapsodie Noire, noir being black. And is it noir black? That's right, isn't it? French. Dark, rich, not that sweet, slightly sweet but very dry. Baza is wearing By the Fireplace. That's a lovely, comforting, sweet, smoky fragrance. You smell amazing, Baza. I think my absolute favourites of everything, I think Pink Me Up is the one that I'm most likely to wear and enjoy and feel very comfortable in, just because it is a fun, pink, fresh, sweet, fruity fragrance. So I'd say Pink Me Up is probably my favourite of everything we've talked about. What was that? What did I put there? I never put anything there. There might have been that's Pink Me Up, but from ages ago, because I can still smell that patchouli, and the pink fizzy sharpness has really calmed down, and it's sweeter, richer. It's like almost kind of like vanillic-ish. It's like a vanilla patchouli kind of dry down. It's nice. It's really nice actually. So yeah, Pink Me Up probably is the most me out of all of this. Cartier Fragrance says I'm wearing Mitsuko today. Balmy and mild here in Pennsylvania. Very, very nice. It's bloody miserable here. It's been raining, drizzling all day. The word drizzling is so suitable, because you know, like children drizzle when they just keep crying, but like in a low key way. That's what it's like today. The rain, drizzling. It's drizzly. It's dull. It's grey. It's just. It's not inspiring. It doesn't make one want to go out at all. But you've got to put big girl pants on and get on with it. Oh, I've booked a trip to Egypt in December, so I've got something to look forward to. So I've got 11 nights in Egypt, early December. So I haven't got too long to put up with this English weather before I get, yeah, a bit of sunshine, taking my paddleboard all on my lonesome to Egypt. So there's something to look forward to. Elise is wearing Carla Barcelona's Latin Lover, and it's not seasonal or sensual. I'm not sure. I'm wondering if you're saying not sensual, because Latin Lover, you would think it would be sensual. Elaine, hello Elaine. I don't think I've said hello to you. I don't think I've seen your comments yet. Elaine says, I want by the fireplace. I wonder if it's long lasting. I've had a decant of it and I found it very good. Some people might disagree. Let me know if you've got any thoughts to pass on to Elaine. I found it really decent because it's got dry woody. It's definitely got some aroma chemicals in it that are quite common in those sweet smoky fragrances, and I think they really help it to catch on and stay on. And Drawn By is here. Hello, I'd like to get a vintage Je Reviens by Worth, but I need to resist. Oh, I need to tell you something. I need to show. I don't know, where is it? Okay, shall I show you? I'll show you. I'm going to show you. Right, you're gonna have to wait one minute. Oh. Okay, I'm back. Well, like that. Is that because I didn't even know what this was. I got this in a job lot when I got the third essay, and I wasn't sure what this was. I knew it was Worth, but I didn't know it was Je Reviens until I started to research and look around. And yeah, look at this lovely bottle. It's got all these raised stars on it. It's a dabber. And I'd say it's very aldehydic floral, really interesting. Might have suffered a little bit with the age of it now. But no, I don't know if it has really. It might just, some vintage perfumes just have that kind of scent that's a little sharp and oh, it's nice. It's a really, what is that? It's a really nice musky floral, but a bit aldehydic. It smells a bit like not daffodils. What are they called? Oh, they are daffodils, aren't they? Narcissus. Yeah, they're daffodils, aren't they? Maddie says, I'm finally trying Lolita Lempica's Eau de Parfum after Lizzie alerted us to a Notino sale and I picked up a travel spray. Brilliant. How are you getting on with it? Bowser says it's frankly depressing weather. It really is. I'm like, oh, Claire says, am I going to do some tombs? I've forgotten I'd mentioned Egypt, and I thought, what's that mean? I'm not going anywhere near where the pyramids are. I am going to be in Sharm el Sheikh, so I don't think I could be bothered to do a load of travelling once I'm there. But if I can find a tomb nearby, I'll check it out. Karine says, some weather here, period, for tea, hot cocoa and board games. Oh, that sounds so cozy. Also raining here in Tashkent. Where's that? Whereabouts in the world are you, Umida? Seasonal. Alicia meant seasonal, not sensual. It's a summer scent. Oh, I see what you're saying. Latin Lover is a summer scent. I get you. Okay. Barry says, I put by the fireplace on at 8 AM and 10 hours later still getting lots of wafts from it. So Elaine, myself and Barry both concur that it's very good for lasting. as our Soaky London will say. Good for lasting. Tashkent. Claire Smith says, I'd love to go to Tashkent. Tashkent. Why have I never heard of it? Lizzie says, I'm never a fan of By the Fireplace. I get why it's popular, but it's just for me personally. The sweet smoky part reminded me of bacon and maple syrup, and I don't eat pig, so didn't enjoy. Claire says, my mum had that perfume bottle. Oh yes, I remember you saying it was, you were from Uzbekistan. I do remember, and I was looking up trying to get to Bukhara on my break that I've now booked Egypt for, but Bukhara in December apparently is a colder month, so I will try and get to Bukhara for sure, and it has an airport, so so that's helpful, but not in December. I think I will go. Could you recommend, Amida, a good time to visit Bukhara, and I'll see if I can make it over there. Elaine went on a cruise on my lonesome to Egypt. Thoroughly enjoyed a few years back. Lovely. And I'm guessing I should also look up Tashkent now as well. And am I saying it correctly? John says, I wish I got pork, to be honest, Lizzie, but it would be my signature. John is a famous pork lover. Barry says, you heard it here first. John loves pork. John loves a pork. Oh, we all love a pork here and there, don't we? Even Lizzie Bain. Joanna says, I loved Noir Exquise last winter when I was on a niche vanilla odyssey. Amazing, but too powerful for me. I did find that a little rich and sweet. I know it got compared to Tom Ford's Noir Extreme, didn't it? And I like all of that genre, those sort of like rich, nutty, sort of Far Eastern kind of fragrances. You know, they've got like a Turkish delight note, or baklava. That I'm probably not Far Eastern, is it? But you know what I mean. Exotic and rich and sweet type perfumes. Umida says, yep, winter is very cold. Better mid-March to April or the end of August to September. Right, okay. I will check out the mid-March to April side of things. Sorry, just having a read. Claire's talking about someone. Oh, my friend. Okay, my friend writes travel books, Claire says. He writes for rough guides in his spare time. He was writing something about Uzbekistan, but it got pulled because of COVID, sadly. He just finished one on Jordan. Wow. That's kind of like the dream job for me. I've always, because I love traveling, I enjoy writing. You know, as a youngster, I always would say I would like to be a travel writer. Didn't do anything about it, of course. Tashkent looks stunning, Claire. Such beautiful buildings, says Claire. Okay, Tashkent. I will have to now figure out a way to go to Tashkent and Bukhara. I have to go on a proper road trip, I think. Barry says, I knew a girl from Kent called Tasha. Where am I paddleboarding? In Egypt. I am going to Sharm el Sheikh, so I'm staying really close to the airport. I can't remember the name of the beach, but it's basically the Sharm resort. You both can plan visiting me, says Umida. Yeah, for sure. Would love to. Claire says, I can ask him how we got into it if you want. I'm not good enough a writer. That's the problem. I'm not a details person. I still, yeah, I'd love to find out though. Yes, I do ask him. Is such a idealistic job, isn't it? Travel writing, if you like traveling anyway. Right, I think I might call it quits now. I'm smelling amazing and I'm pretty sure you all are too. Lovely to see you. Lovely to see some old faces and some faces I haven't seen for a little while, and sending you big hugs and lots of love, and thank you everyone so much for joining me on this little live stream, and I will see you all very, very soon. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye.